the left side here. We're going to glue in what we painted last time on the left side. So put lots of glue down. Lots of glue. This canvas paper is thicker. It needs lots of that glue stick here. Glue it down and give it a little bit of burnishing on the left side here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be painting some more meadow grass, reed grass, and cattails up here. And I'm going to go through it, not really as a tutorial, just as a review. So I have my palette, and the way I made this green was the phthalo green and the yellow. So shake those up. You can put a little bit more down, you know, maybe like 2 chocolate chip size. Make sure your brush is clean and dry every time you use it. And well, we're using our flat brush because that's what we did last time. I guess I forgot to write that down. That would be a really good thing to write down here, is flat brush. So then you know, right? I'll just write it down here. Good question. Flat brush. Okay, so this we called this mixture of phthalo green and yellow, we called grass green, right? That was our grass green. And then we also mixed a brown. So what we did was that all mixed in there, get it really nicely mixed in. Our brown was some of the green, so you scoop up some of the green. And then we added red. Red and green are opposites on the color wheel. They are complementary colors. And when you mix complementary colors together, they make brown. Okay, and you want to make sure you're getting brown, not just a dark green. So swatch it on the side if you need to. I'll show you here. So I'm just going to swatch it here. That still looks kind of green to me. I'm going to clean my brush, dry my brush, get some more red to make it an actual brown. You want to mix it so much so that you don't have any like little differentiations of color. It should be all the same color. There, now I have a brown. I'm not sure how it shows up on camera, but in person, those are very different. Okay, so those are the colors you're going to mix right now. Okay, clean and dry your brush. And we're going to start with meadow grass. We're actually going to start it at the very top of the canvas paper. Let me zoom in. We're going to start at the top with the meadow grass. And remember, you're just putting like that much on your flat brush. We're using a flat brush. Just put that much on, not a lot on. In fact, if it's too much, you can kind of just dab it off on your paper there. And we're just gonna have some meadow grass kind of going up and down like this. Go all the way to the top of that canvas paper, come down about an inch and a half. And you're using all of the paint on your brush This is going to give you a variety of value. That means lightness and darkness in that color. And then when you've got enough, or you've used up all of it, get a little bit more, maybe pounce it off to the side and start filling in. And really try to only use the tip of that brush. Okay, you do not want the brush to sit flat like that, where you're bending it. You just want to touch the tip. Oops, see, I touched too much here, but that's okay. I can just start blending it out. And this is the first layer, so I'm pretty good here. And then the second layer you're going to do of the meadow grass is going to be green plus white. That is going to be our highlight. So that's going to be the second layer that we're going to kind of fill in some of the gaps. I'm just going to take some of my green, put it off to the side, clean my brush, dry my brush, using some of the white, shake it up. A little bit of white to the green. Mix it up really well. Nice blended color. Just using the tips. You can swatch it over here if you want. That's beautiful mint color. I'm just going to fill in some of the gaps just by using the tip of my brush. And then after this layer, we're going to do a darker green. And remember, we're not adding black to our green, right? Green, black isn't really found in nature except for in charcoal, or like in a bird's feather or something like that. And so we're going to make the green, take the green here, and we're going to mix it with the brown. Clean your brush. Going to mix it with the brown here, just to make it a darker green. Put in some of those shadowy areas. It'll give it a lot of depth. Okay, and just do little bits. Don't really cover this one. This is just little bits here. Not everywhere. And mine is still so wet with the other colors. I'm going pretty fast. that it's actually mixing and making another color. And anywhere where the green is too dark, just going over with my brush, and kind of blending it out before it dries. Cleaning my brush, I'm going to go back in with my regular grass green. And I'm going to go over some of the areas, not all of the areas. I still want that variety of value in here. Okay, and keep playing with it and fiddling with it until it's something that you think looks like a meadow. So you might have to put 2 or 3 more layers on to get it the way you want it. Okay, and we're going to stick with our flat brush and we're going to do reed grass down here that kind of goes into the meadow grass. So clean and dry your flat brush. And again, you're wanting that chiseled tip. So you might want to pinch it until it gets that chiselly edge here. That's how much paint I have on my brush. Not a lot. And you're just going to go down here and go straight up and kind of let go. You want to go right into the meadow grass here. So I'm using just the regular green. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a pattern. You use the regular color, then you use the highlight color, and then you use the shadow color. And then you can go through that pattern as many times as you need to. But that's how we did the trees and the shrubs a little bit and the grass. So regular color, highlight, shadow. Going right into that meadow grass. Don't worry about that. It'll just be like the meadow grass is closer to you, or the reed grass is closer to you. Okay, and you can see I'm just filling in with some areas. The next layer we're going to do is we're going to use that lighter green, and you might want to even add a little bit more white to the lighter green. You want to make it pretty light because we're going over that meadow grass. We want to be able to see it. See how you can see it over the meadow grass? White is a great color to put in your grass, or I'm sorry, it's to put in your paint to make it a little bit more opaque, which means like solid, not see-through. I'm just using that chiseled edge. I'm going right up into that meadow grass. Like there's a meadow behind the reeds. Clean and dry your brush. And then you're going to use the darker green, the shadow color, the green plus brown, and don't go as tall. And it'll kind of blend in. And this is where you kind of want to go left and right a little bit, not just straight up. So kind of go off to the side, angle it a little. Just little amounts on your brush and then work them in. Really glaring on, there we go. That's what the true color really looks like. And I can still see some of the canvas paper behind here. And to fix that and or just to finish it off, I would go in, the last layer I would put in is just the regular green again. Just going straight on top. It'll add some of that color back in, fill in some of those gaps. You could add many layers of all these different greens. I'm just basically doing 4. Right? Last thing we're going to do is our cattails again. So again, just take some of that regular green, put it down here, regular green on the tips of your brush. I'm going to kind of make my cattails curve a little. Maybe there's a little wind or something. Okay. Putting a little bit of brown on the corner. And then our like leaves or some other parts of the cattails, I just push down and then let go of the pressure. And I can get that fat and thin part, right? Push down, let go. You can do it again. Creates a thick, a thin, thick. Either way. Push down, let go, push down. Cattails. must not have recorded. So what I did is I took my blue and my white, and I used about 2 to 3 more times light blue, or blue, no, scratch that. I used 2 to 3 more times white than I did blue to make this nice light sky blue. Okay, and we are using our small round brush. Small round brush. Okay, with our small round brush and our blue, we're gonna scrub it in across, going across the page. And what I mean scrub it in, we're actually trying to push it down in the grooves of the canvas paper. So I want you to go left and right. Do not go up and down. Okay, go left and right, scrubbing it in. It's okay if it's a little streaky, right? But I want you to go left and right over like the top half of the page. Okay, getting it really coated. So if there's areas that's really wet, scrub over those areas. I'm gonna do the top half of the page. Go right to the edges, best you can. We're making a sky. And one of the things about painting is you do want to have like an underpainting, kind of like underwear, that seals the canvas. And oftentimes you use your sky color to do this. And that way, like if you have it completely covered, completely sealed, then your painting will last a lot longer. If there's any areas where you can see the canvas, that's when air and water get underneath and your paint can actually lift up and peel off your canvas. So it's a good idea when you're doing a painting to do this over the entire painting to start. Kind of tones your painting as well. Okay, so I'm just scrubbing in any little areas, going left and right, left and right. That should be about good. So what we're doing today, we're doing clouds. Clouds are white most of the time. We do have, you know, it's sunset or it's sunrise, or if there's something else going on, clouds are a different color. But we're gonna do white clouds for the most part today. The first cloud we're gonna do, I think it's called, oh gosh, a nimbus or a cumulus cloud. Yeah, okay. And it's what you think of as a white fluffy cloud, okay? And when you get white on your brush, you want that much on your brush. Very little and just on the tip. Okay, so don't put your brush flat down in the paint. Just pick up a little bit on the tip. And what you're going to do, if everyone would just watch for the first time, is you're going to go left and right, always left and right, you know, left and right, left and right. And you're going to kind of push the paint up. I didn't get enough paint. Push the paint up, and then you can go back down, and then you're going to scrub it in so it kind of fades into the blue sky. And it should always have whiter or lighter up at the top here. Let me zoom in a little closer. Okay, that might be a little better view. And then I'm just going to do this again. So a little bit of paint on my brush, and I just go left and right, and I go up. I can move this out here too. And then I'm just gonna scrub under here until it all blends in and it's all dry. And if there's an area up here that's not as white, I can go back in and add some white to it and scrub that out, right? But the white is always going to be, not always, but most of the time towards the top. And you're just going to keep going. Just keep on going. Okay. Go up. Left and right, left and right. Scrub all of this in here. When I mean scrub, I mean we're going left and right, we're blending it. And again, if I need to add a little white back into the tops, I can do that. Clouds don't really have a lot of harsh edges or harsh lines, right? Everything is either wispy or soft, rounded. And then I want you to keep going. Do another cloud right on top of the other clouds. I'll have to make this one a little bit bigger here. And I'm going up to get more paint and then blending it down. Going up to get more paint, blending it down. Do it again. Going up to get more paint, blending it down. I really like painting clouds. Okay, they're not oval, right? So you can see mine kind of go down like this, like a slide almost. They're rounded. Okay, we're gonna switch brushes to our flat brush. Okay, our flat brush, right, with the chiseled edge. We're gonna do like wispy stratus clouds. Okay, I think they're stratus. And I just get a little bit of paint on my brush. Barely can see how much paint is on my brush. A lot of beginners get too much paint. And I'm just gonna go left and right. And sometimes I might go left and right and kind of bring them down a little. But you're barely using the tip of your brush. And you're letting them just whisk away. You're leaving some areas of blue in here. Sometimes I start lower and go up. I'm just wisping that paint around. These are stratus clouds. Less is more with this. I didn't really have enough paint here. Put some more paint here. Do some more. So again, with our flat brush, clean it, dry it. Nice wispiness. My canvas, my paint is still wet, so I'm doing kind of some wet and wet here. Kind of blending, not what I wanted. It's better if it's for the wispiness if it's dry. Okay. Last cloud we're going to do needs some gray. So I'm going to take my black. I'm going to put a small amount of black in there. And I'll take a lot more white than black. Okay, I want it to be a very light gray. So like 3 times as much white as your black. Make a little bit of gray. Really blend it together. And I'm going to switch back to my round brush. So find your round brush again. Switch back to your round brush. And we're going to make those same clouds we did at the beginning. So left and right, left and right. Go up, go down, scrub in here. Not getting enough white here. Then you're going to take a little bit of your gray. Just a little bit is going to mix in. You don't want it really harsh. You don't want a line of gray or anything like that. And you're going to go back in with some white. Maybe put another cloud in front. And if it's too dark, just keep adding more white. Do this again, because I don't like this area right here. So I'm just go left and right, left and right. Adding in a little bit of gray. This is like a storm cloud, right? Blending that in. And then you can put some white back in. You can put some white back in down underneath. Okay, because it might, clouds have all sorts of shades in them. Really get that back and forth, left, right type motion. Storm clouds. Just gonna blend it in here a little. And here a little. Adding some highlights and some other areas as I go to make it look more realistic. That cloud, that first cloud I did right there, I hate. But you can keep going, right? You can keep doing more clouds in front. kind of helps the illusion if you do a couple clouds like layered on top of each other. Because when it's stormy, there's a lot of clouds, right? Usually. Going back in with my white, getting that highlight back in there. Blending, lots of blending. Okay, so 3 kinds of clouds. That was our new learning for today.